Cool. Will I be able to hear it too? Cool. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Oh, like the live thing at the bottom that says live? Ah. Gotcha.
There's Corrin. There's me. I got to turn down the Christmas music just a little bit. But yeah, Corrin, welcome. This is episode 20. Sunday, December 21st, 2025. The Unfiltered podcast.
Thanks.
Yeah, welcome in.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think along with like Kale and like Rick and a whole bunch of other people, I was like, I gotta invite Corrin. I have to.
Of course. I feel like which I'm sure we'll get to this at some point,
Yeah.
always debating things, always having all kinds of conversations. So, yeah.
Yeah, we went down a few rabbit holes like the last time we visited.
Yes.
It's from all those times we shared the sidelines. Like it's like, oh, you know a little bit of Corrin lore, you know a little bit of Tyler lore.
Sure.
We come away
I think
learning a
that's
little
the
more.
beauty in this industry is you get all kinds of different personalities coming together and hanging out, and it's a good time.
It is.
So yeah.
Yeah. So it's the first day of winter. My goodness, if it's like a little bit of a cold front, but like it's supposed to be like nice. I'm not used to this.
No, Christmas it's supposed to be in the upper 70s.
No.
So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm somebody who likes snow around Christmas.
Yeah.
And we all know how the weather is in the Panhandle after Christmas is over. It will blizzard every single day.
Yeah.
When it should be in the upper 70s.
Yeah. And living in Iowa and then living in the Black Hills, like by now I should be like, it's like I got used to snow and now I'm like, it's like upper 70s. Like this is nice. Can I just stay down here? Like I don't have to go up and see family, but the fam would get a little too mad at that. We did invite them to come down. It would have to be after the holidays, but
Is your family from Iowa?
My family's from Iowa. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I have a friend that used to work in Iowa, and she would send me videos all the time about the weather over there, freezing cold. It was like 30 degrees when it was upper 70s here.
Yeah. Yeah. I love bragging like to other friends. Like it's like, oh yeah, I'm enjoying like, 80s, or like if it gets really hot up there and then like the Panhandle gets nice and cool, like there's like a nice August cool front that comes through and we're like, yeah, we're in the 70s. It feels so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let me do some quick little news. You guys haven't seen like the whole social media thing. I think I posted it to X. I just haven't posted it to anywhere else yet. But Ed's gonna take a sabbatical. He just had to step away for a little bit. And I will look forward to seeing his return. I know I keep losing my co-hosts like left and right. Like, it was supposed to be, you, me, and Ed. And then when I started, it was originally going to be me and Sweeze, Tanner Sims, and then we pivoted, went to Ed, and now I got to pivot again. But I got guests the rest of the way. I mean, it's really fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It comes with, just being consistent and just being like, okay, all right. Like, let me just line some people up. Let me just reach out to people, see if they're interested. Because they kind of want to see like proof that you're doing this. It doesn't, that way you're like, what's this dude cooking up? Like,
sure.
But yeah, it's, you got to eat. So, okay. All right. We'll go into Christmas plans real quick since this is a Christmas episode.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that you chose me for the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Before we do talk about our Christmas plans, without giving away too much information, no doxing is allowed. You need to shout out Sumo Dog, because that's what my guy Drew in the chat. That's what he's here for. He's here for the shout out to Sumo Dog.
Okay, who is Sumo Dog?
Okay, Sumo Dog is Sweeze's dog, Sumo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's the goodest boy.
I love dogs, so shout out Sumo Dog.
Heck yes. And then he's what's so funny with Sumo Dog is like Tanner just posts him on social media like all the time, and like my friends coined Sumo Bear, and then it morphed into Sumo Dog, but it's still Sumo Bear. Okay. So Drew will drop into like Corn Fed podcast, and he'll be like, I think last night he was like, hey, because Dave Wright, the thinker, he has this big beard. He dressed up as Santa Claus. And he was like, and Drew comes in, he was like, hey, can you have Santa Dave shout out Sumo Dog, aka Sumo Bear, aka Sweeze's dog. So there's lore behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a running, it's a meme. I don't know, I'm part of that sphere. It is what it is. But
oh, shout out Sumo Dog.
Sweet. Okay, all right, Christmas plans. What do you got?
So my family is actually more of a Christmas Eve family. That's where most of our traditions are. So we usually go to my grandparents' house and we make Christmas cookies in the morning on Christmas Eve. And then we have church. We usually go to like the early service, and then we go eat dinner, and then we go look at lights over in Wolflin because I go to First Baptist. So it's right over there. And then this is more of a new tradition that we started maybe a couple years ago, but we come home and we watch the Polar Express.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of as a nightcap.
Okay.
And then that's our day. So we've done it since I can remember. Like every year. We talk about consistency. My family's consistent with that stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like we almost get so particular about the time. No, I'm being dramatic, but we do. We have a really good time with it. My brother will pop in and out on the sugar cookies. Sometimes it's not his jam, but he'll be there to hang out, and then it's a good time. So
nice.
Yeah.
So like what like you talk about the Polar Express, like what, like, okay, like I know it's like all CGI, it's all CG.
Yeah.
Just because it wants to capture the essence of the book. But do you think they can pull off a live action?
Absolutely.
Except they need to have Tom Hanks in there, right?
Absolutely. I play every character.
Yeah.
Because
every character has to be Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Except for the little kids. Every character has to be Tom Hanks. Yeah, I definitely think they can pull it off. And Tom Hanks is talented enough to be however many characters that he plays in that. I want to say at least 5.
Now I can't help but think like even the little kids need to be Tom Hanks.
It's just a Tom Hanks featured movie.
Yeah, just all Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks has all the credits.
That would be funny. And I'd still watch.
Heck yeah.
But absolutely, they could pull it off. If they can pull off, I mean, the new Avatar just came out. They can pull off a movie like that. There is no question that they can pull off a live action Polar Express.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, with everybody being Tom Hanks. Even the ladies being Tom Hanks.
Again, I'd still watch.
I watched just out of curiosity. So like, you know, like how like all the right now, like they got all the marketing around the Grinch, like because it's the 25th anniversary of the Jim Carrey movie, the Ron Howard film and everything. I watched that last night I watched it in its entirety, like all the way through, because I've only seen bits and pieces of it. Because I
never watched the
because
Grinch.
I grew up on the cartoon.
Okay.
I grew up on the cartoon, and then I was like, I was in 7th grade, so I was like, this is kind of don't like it.
Really?
Judgmental 7th grader.
Okay.
So like I finally watch it, and I'm like, okay, all right, this isn't too bad. They stretch out a few parts that give a little more of like context to the Grinch, but they don't really say like where the Grinch is from. It's just the Grinch is the Grinch, you know.
Yeah.
But my favorite part is like you're 8 years old and you have a beard.
Yeah, that one's a classic.
It is.
I'm shocked that you haven't watched it though in its entirety until now. It's great. I've also watched the cartoon one. I grew up on that as well.
Yeah, the one that's animated by Chuck Jones and and Boris Karloff.
An interesting comment. I want to say it was on TikTok, and they said that it's interesting how we watch all of the older Christmas movies even to this day,
right?
Like generation after generation, those survive, like Christmas Vacation and all the Home Alones, all the Santa Claus movies, but there hasn't been a movie in recent memory that is good enough to become like a generational movie, or even if they've made one, you know. And so I thought that was interesting, because when you think about Christmas movies, you do think about all those early 2000s 1990s movies. So
like I mean, even like It's a Wonderful Life, or you know, there's two versions of The Miracle on 34th Street, you know, the one that was like way back in the day. And then there's one that was in the 90s with the guy that played John Hammond off of Jurassic Park. Which is always so jarring. It's like, you know, it's like in one movie, this guy's like, you know, he's all about dinosaurs and bringing dinosaurs back, and the dinosaurs terrorize everybody, to like, oh, he's this holly jolly, you know, not a mall Santa, but more like Santa Claus out of like Macy's, or like one of those really nice ritzy stores in New York City.
That just shows he has depth as an actor.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Speaking of like, okay, so Christmas movies, what are some of your favorites?
Oh, I love all of the Santa Claus movies, of course.
Okay.
Like little kid me would always watch those. I also love The Holiday with Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jack Black. Such a good movie.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that one?
I have not seen that one. I've seen all three of the Santa Claus movies.
Yes.
You know, with Tim Allen. You can never go wrong with Tim Allen.
Never. He's so good.
Let's see. I mean, I just remember A Christmas Story, you know, just playing for 24 hours straight on cable. I grew up on that. I'm trying to think of some other ones. You know, Die Hard. Do you think Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
Okay, to be honest, I haven't seen it before, but it's probably one of those that, if I'm thinking of it right, it's action, but it's during like Christmas time, right?
Yeah.
So there's also a rom-com out there that's during Christmas time as well, and I don't constitute it as a Christmas movie.
Okay.
It's called Love Actually, and it's during Christmas, but I wouldn't say, you know, when you think Christmas movies, you wouldn't think that one. And I've heard of Die Hard. I have not seen it, so.
Okay.
Don't give me a hard time.
No, of course not. I mean, you know, I have friends that debate for Die Hard being a Christmas movie, and then I have friends that debate against Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
Sure. I think when you look at it, you have to think, okay, will I sit down and watch this with my family on Christmas Day?
I don't know. There's some sickos there that do.
And that's just what you, I mean, have to think about. Like, if you have the grandparents, extended family, whoever comes to Christmas, are you sitting down watching that, or are you watching the Santa Claus movie?
Right. Another one is Gremlins. You ever seen Gremlins?
Gremlins. No,
Yeah.
I don't think I have. I've
Oh,
heard it.
Gremlins is good.
I have, but no.
The first Gremlins takes place during Christmas. Now, I think Macaulay Culkin came out with a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, okay, could you set Die Hard, like, you know, around the 4th of July? Or could you set it around Thanksgiving or St. Patrick's Day? Could it still pan out the way it is? And his answer is like, you know, no. I mean, yeah, it can be said about any time. So therefore, It can't be a Christmas movie. Where the Home Alone films, they really center around Christmas. So they have to, you know, so I mean, they are considered Christmas movies.
That's a good point, actually. If the movie can be made at any other point in the year, is it considered a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Because Santa Claus, if I'm watching that in mid-June, people are probably like, or if it's, you know, it starts in mid-June, like in the movie, they're in mid-June, it just wouldn't make sense.
Right.
Because it's not Christmas. So yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. Trying to think of some other good movies. Like I always Ernest Saves Christmas is my big one. Like, I love Ernest Saves Christmas. And it's another one of those 90s films. Like,
okay.
So like, you never heard of Ernest P. Worrell? You never seen the Ernest movies? Oh man.
Okay, actually, I think Clint brought those up to me the other day, and I hadn't watched them. And yeah, because you say that there are multiple.
There's like a whole series of Ernest movies.
Okay, yes, I know what you're talking about because Clint brought it up to me.
Okay.
But no, I don't. I've never watched them before.
Okay, so I'll give you a rundown of what. It's kind of like Godzilla movies. Like, you got to know which ones to watch because there's so many. So like Ernest, I would say probably Ernest like Goes to Camp is like the big one. Ernest Saves Christmas is a really good one, and then Ernest Goes to Jail. Those are the three. I would say that those would be my top three. Mm-hmm. And Ernest Saves Christmas is like my favorite. I pop that on like every Christmas. So if you've seen the Aladdin animated film back in the 90s, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. The Sultan plays Santa Claus.
Interesting.
And he not only sounds like Santa, but he looks like the Sultan from Aladdin, but he's a perfect Santa. He's like the perfect Santa. He's got the perfect voice, he's got the perfect look. He looks like they just ripped him out of like a 1930s like Coca-Cola like advertisement for Christmas. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good. And then there's a whole bunch of hijinks. There's like a girl that's kind of a runaway, and like Ernest kind of takes her in over the course of the film. And like, you know, it's good. It's really good. It's so underrated. It's one of those 90s Christmas movies that like you, I mean, I think you and I agree that, you know, almost like the 90s were like 90s and early 2000s were like the golden age of like Christmas movies.
Christmas movies, rom-coms, you name it. I watch probably early 2000s movies, like rom-coms, more than I do recent day. I don't know why. There was something in the air at that point in time when they were making movies where it was just stellar.
Yeah. They were good. I mean, like, they just don't make movies like that anymore. Like,
they really don't, and I don't know why that is.
I think it's because of like the whole franchises. Like, Hollywood thinks like, you know, we can make more money off of a franchise, like with the MCU or Spider-Man or, you know, Superman, Batman, you know, franchises versus, and then more sequels. And like sequels were kind of like not great when we were kids,
Yes.
And I feel like, Hollywood's really caught a sense of sequelitis all in the name of continuity, where like you don't have like standalone films. Like last night I was watching Jingle All the Way.
Yes.
With Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Nice.
And it's almost like peak consumerism, because it's like people pounding down like doors of like toy stores trying to get this toy. And that's like, I was like, to me that was Christmas, like was like the rampant consumerism and trying to get like all these toys, like try to get like the hottest toy of the year.
Yeah. I think from a franchise standpoint, executing sequels is easy when you're mirroring off of a book series.
Right.
I think of that like Hunger Games.
Yeah. Yep, you're a fan of Hunger Games too.
Huge, like massive fan. And actually they're coming out a little less than a year. They're coming out with the I guess you could call it the sequel to the prequel.
Okay.
Of the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Okay.
Which will take place, I think, 25 years before the original story.
Right.
Cat Bernardine. And I'm all in. I read the book the minute it came out, and I'm all in. And I think they've done a really good job of executing. Like, I think in the Hunger Games series, the best movie in that series is Catching Fire, which is the second movie in that series.
Okay.
Speaking. And so, I think they can do a really good job and master it if there is a storyline based off of a book, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. Like, I think they casted really well when they did Hunger Games. Like, Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss Everdeen. Yeah. And then Woody Harrelson just knocks it out of the park.
Amazing. He is wonderful. And they casted great for the one that's coming out in November of next year. That cast is stacked. We talk about Home Alone. Yeah. I think, what's that kid's name that plays Kevin?
Oh, Macaulay Culkin.
He's in it.
Oh, is he?
In it.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's in it, and then they do a great job of because obviously the characters are younger that were in the original series. The characters are younger because you go back in time. So they do a great job of casting members who not only look very similar as the original characters, but also who played their like sons or their siblings in other movies. So they were very intentional about who they casted and how they did it. And and I think the main character, Joseph Zeta, I may be pronouncing his last name wrong. Okay. They casted him perfectly as the main character for Haymitch. Oh. So it's going to be a sad story, but I really think that he's somebody who can pull off the emotional side of it.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Huh. Okay. All right. Like, I've read a few of the books. And I kind of stopped at Catching Fire. Like, I didn't really get to the whole climax of it, but I thought it was a very interesting world. The world building's really good. Pan Am is just like, the divided states of America with extreme flooding and but like the settings of the Hunger Games were very interesting. Like the first one was in the woods, and then the second one was like kind of like, I think it was like a beach or an island or something.
Yeah, it's like a more tropical setting. Yeah. And that one's interesting.
Yeah. And then they start planning to take down like kind of the government of Panem, because like, what kind of like, it's kind of a nice critique of like you'll like this analysis, but it's like a good like critique of kind of like the have and have nots, like, and that's always been the case. That's capitalism for you. Even in other, economic forms, and I can get into the weeds with you with that, but yeah, like the most telling part was like these really rich people, like they'll eat a ton of food at these parties, and then they go throw it up, and then they go back and eat more food.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's definitely it's a sad sort of setup because they're starving in the districts, and the capital is a luxurious place, almost like appalling luxurious. Like you said, they eat food until they're sick, and they dress up in these lavish outfits, and they live a very comfortable life. Whereas, like, you see Katniss Everdeen's upbringing, she lives in a tiny, home, and she's the sole provider for her family because her father dies, and so she's having to figure out, how am I going to put food on the table? So that's why she goes and hunts. And so yeah, the setup is pretty crazy. And actually, in the prequel to all of it, you learn who the ultimate villain is in this, which is President Snow. You learn how he turns evil. And there's a lot of connections and backstories to why he despises District 12, why he despises Katniss Everdeen, not only because she's trying to overthrow the country, and she's not even intentionally trying to do it at first. That's just who she is, a more rebellious soul. And I think we learn a lot about why he structures things the way he does. And some of it stems from, weirdly enough, a heartbreak. Yeah it's interesting. It's really interesting, and there's a little bit of mystery in there. But yeah, the setup is very sad. It's very sad, but I think Suzanne Collins, who's the author, does a really good job of obviously telling a story and giving a message within her writing. She's always been somebody who I've loved to follow and read her work. So
heck yeah, that's awesome. So, like, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever need like an expert on like the Hunger Games, you just call Corrin.
Yes, please do.
Yeah,
I'm not joking. I know the ins and the outs. Kale always gives me a hard time, or if he, like, in a good way, or he'll text me when a new book is coming out or the trailer just came out to a movie, and he's like, oh my gosh, did you see this? Did you see that? And I'm like, oh, I have the notification.
I've already seen it 9 times.
And you bring that up, funny enough, I'm not even joking. I went and saw the prequel 11 times in the movie theater.
Oh, dang.
I did, and that's just how I am with that series. No other series, just that one.
Okay.
So good.
Everybody's got a fandom they gotta like latch on to.
Yes, Twilight was huge. I know at one point in time, Twilight was big. Divergent. Trying to think. Star Wars. Oh my gosh, Star Wars. People like eat, sleep, breathe Star Wars.
Yeah. So like, oh man, I think I stopped and tried to read. Emphasis on tried. Tried to read Twilight one time. And I was like, this is like a 7th grader's fan fiction.
Oh gosh.
I was like, I can't get through a paragraph. Like, I mean, but hey, it made millions upon millions of dollars, and then
it did.
And then like 50 Shades of Grey was originally like a fan fiction of Twilight.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I never actually read the Twilight books, funny enough, because I watched the movies like as they were coming out, and I was pretty young watching the movies, so by that point I'd seen them a million times, and I didn't really want to go back and read the books because I knew what was going to happen. So I was like, no, don't worry about it. Whereas the Hunger Games, the movies hadn't even come out yet when I started those, because it was like elementary school or something. And so yeah, but having the movies come out kind of ruined the books for me, because I also tried to read them, but it was like I already knew what was happening.
Right.
I knew that was going to be, so I was like, I'm not going to waste my time doing that. But yeah, it's kind of like how I feel about it. It's like if like the books are already out, and then you get the movie, I think that's fine. But like if the books are coming out almost the same time as the movie, like it's like, well, do you watch the movie for more of the abridged version, or do you read the books for you can have more context and more character development, or what these characters are, kind of like what their motivations are. They're a little more fleshed out than they are in the film. Sure. So Yeah,
Makes you think.
I think they usually try to finish the series or close to it because you have to see how successful the books were before you think about, creating a movie. Like I know, have you ever, maybe not, A Court of Thorns and Roses or Fourth Wing? These are like book series that are astronomically famous right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
They're trending like crazy, have for years.
Huh.
And I know I read the other day that the Court of Thorns and Roses was in production and then it got canceled. I'm not really sure why.
Oh.
But the Fourth Wing series, I saw somewhere, whether this is true or not, I'm not sure, that they're in production for something as well. So I think they try and wait to see how successful the books are before they invest a lot of money into making it.
Right. Yeah, you want to see how the book does before you start
For sure.
investing and being like, all right,
Yeah.
we know we can make money from this.
Yes. And sometimes the movies can ruin the books,
Yeah.
if that makes sense as well. You watch the movies and you're like, that's not really what happened. They didn't capture that the way I thought they would. But with Hunger Games, the books and the movies are fantastic. They're wonderful. Now with Divergent, the books were amazing because I read that series. But then the first movie was incredible, the second movie was incredible, and then it just started tapering off. And they
Gotcha.
never even finished the last movie.
Right.
Because
It started tapering off. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do as well. So I don't know. You wait to see how the books are. If they're successful, then you make the movies. But in my opinion, if you're gonna make the movies, make them right.
Right.
Do it justice, so that people can enjoy the whole universe of it all.
Right. If I remember correctly, like Suzanne Collins was like, I think she was either a consultant or she was like an executive producer. So she had say.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you include the author into
sure.
hey, does this look right? Is this what the character would do? Even if it diverges just a little bit. I feel like that's when you've made. It's like that's when that's what the people want, is they want something that's faithful to the book. So
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I completely agree. I've never invested into the Harry Potter series, but people say they love the books and they love the movies. And
Okay.
I think it's so important to, I don't know the ins and the outs of Harry Potter the way I do Hunger Games. But yeah, it's important that the author has a say because they ultimately created the characters and they created the stories. So when you want to make a movie and you want to draw in the fan base of it all, you definitely have to make sure that you have their input in it all. And then you do what the Hunger Games does, make it a multi-million-dollar franchise, and then you can cast like easily the best cast probably in that franchise's history, which is the movie that will come out in November of next year.
Right. Yeah.
You created it, you did it well, and you did it right. So then you can have, continue having a solid group of people.
Yeah. And Drew comments like, I tend to only read nonfiction. Hey, I respect it. I read a lot of nonfiction. I read too much nonfiction.
Hey, I think reading is great in general.
Yeah.
I encourage it for everybody. So whatever you're reading, props
says
to you.
Says the TV personality, right?
Hey, I love reading. It's my escape from it all.
Yeah.
Really. It is.
Because you can go to the airport and just get into a good book, and then before you know it, man, you're already at your destination.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I completely agree. It's a good, healthy outlet to go to and a good hobby. I enjoy it.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to switch gears a little bit. We'll get a little more serious before we get, back into more fun territory. But I think for the uninitiated, you gotta tell the uninitiated a little bit about yourself, because I know all about you.
Yeah.
A lot of people that will, tune in, later, like Kale, they'll be like, we know who Corrin is, but for Drew or my friends Dave Wright or Sweeze, they're like, okay, all right, who's Corrin? So do you like long walk? I'm sure you like long walks on the beach, right? At least.
When I get the opportunity,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yes, yes. So I am born and raised in Amarillo, Texas, still live here now. And I graduated from Amarillo High. I graduated from WT. I played volleyball there for a little bit as well, and I started my career in sports reporting. Is that kind of like what you're wanting to? How the about me?
Yeah.
What? How much about me are we
Just
wanting?
not enough to where like, okay, all right. That was good. I mean that like, okay, all right. I'll branch off from there. And
Okay,
and Drew says, I just know she's pretty and she likes books. Okay, all right.
cool.
That's,
Okay.
hey, if you ride on that, I completely respect it. But you know, you've like, I think you and I have come from the same field where,
Yeah.
where you went the television route, I kind of went the print route.
Mm-hmm.
But you've done a lot of cool stuff like during your time in WT, and I think, didn't you do a little bit of traveling as part of your I say your ventures in media so far?
Yes, absolutely. From a WT standpoint, so I got on. Um, I interned with Kayla a little bit before I started college,
Yeah.
and we did some things, and then I played volleyball for a couple years, and that took up most, if not all, of my time. So I didn't have as much to invest in sports reporting or the industry. So after my sophomore year of college, I got on with Kale and was like the game of the week girl for high school football. So, biggest game that week, we were on the road and hitting that one with, interviews, highlights. Sometimes we did pre-game, just previews, those kinds of things. And I did that for a little while. Well, I did that for 2 years, but
Mm-hmm.
then I got on with WT as well, calling volleyball matches. And that was and still is an incredible opportunity and really cool 360 moment
It
for me.
helps when they're like really good too.
Oh, and they won the national title game, I'm pretty sure, my first year covering them.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool because I knew a lot of the girls on that team and I knew the ins and the outs of the program. And so it was cool full 360 moment for me. Got on there. And then I spoke with Michael McBroom, who was the athletic director at that point in time. And he wanted me to start a podcast based sports related thing for them, doing a coverage for the athletic department. So I was full swing in that. We would have players and coaches on, interviewing them. We would go through like standings. We would recap games, tell everybody what the schedule was for the following week. And it was invaluable experience for me and wouldn't take a second of it back. It was incredible. It helped me learn more about it. I also, what I appreciated too is the grace that everybody gave me because I was young. I'm green, trying to figure it out, not knowing how do I prep for a show? How do I prep for an interview? Sometimes I'm going to mess up because I don't have experience. This is me getting that. So they welcomed me with open arms, and all of the coaches have been wonderful. All of the teams have been wonderful. The media has been wonderful, you guys. And so I've loved getting to start my career here. It's been a lot of fun.
Well,
And then I got on with Channel 4.
and then yeah,
as
what now? I'm sorry.
I got on with Channel 4 after I
Oh yeah,
graduated.
yeah, absolutely. Heck
I
yeah.
did some of the locker room stuff with them in college, but then I was able to get on with them after I graduated. So,
Right. And then Trey Lopez, he jumps in the chat. He says, "Great
oh,
job,
awesome.
Tyler. Corrin the GOAT reporter."
Oh, that's so thanks, Troy.
But what, like, I would, I have plenty of pieces of advice, but I like asking other people, like, what if I'm like going to WT and
Mhm.
I'm going into electronic media or broadcast journalism, what are some pieces of advice that you would give that student, or even just
I would
somebody that's starting out?
Absolutely. I would say take advantage of every single opportunity that you can. I mean, even if it's scary, even if you know you have zero experience doing it and maybe that's not what you want to do long term, it's all going to help the end goal of whatever that looks like for you. And if you don't feel like those opportunities are presenting themselves, sometimes you have to shoot the email, make the phone call, shake the hand. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes you will get told no, or sometimes you will fail. But you'd rather do it now and look back and be like, oh, I missed out on A, B, and C opportunities that would have helped me grow so much. Um, that's what I told myself, and there were times where my schedule was cram packed when I was in college, trying to juggle my job and then trying to juggle schoolwork, but I knew that that was the sacrifice I had to make to get to where I want to be. And so creating those opportunities for yourself and putting yourself in those challenging positions will help, even if it is scary, because it is scary getting in front of a camera
It
when you
is.
never done that before, and when you're facilitating a show and when you're facilitating an interview with people, especially like people who have either been in this industry for a long time or have been doing what they're doing for a long time, and you're just like, okay, don't mess up, don't make a mistake. It's okay. It's okay. It will be okay. Just take advantage of the opportunity. Try and learn as much as you can. There was a coach, she used to say anytime her team lost, she's like, it's not a loss, it's a learn.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've kind of, you know, welcomed that into my mind as well. When I make a mistake, it's not a loss, it's a learn. Next time we are going to be better, and we know how to handle that, we know what to expect. But you don't do that unless you get the opportunity, or you try and make the opportunity for yourself.
Right. And I think even within those opportunities, I mean, mistakes happen, things happen.
Sure.
And when I'm sure you know about News One very well. Like
Oh yeah.
I took News One as well, and I remember like I did the footage, I did all the editing, but I did it through Adobe Premiere,
Mm-hmm.
where like you had some options. You had Final Cut, but I was an Adobe guy, and I still use a lot of Adobe stuff today. But I know I'm a slave to the Adobe machine, but like I put it in Turbo, and Turbo blows up on me. So it's like a 2-minute reader.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just pretend like, hey, this was meant to be. And I look back and I'm like, I wish Turbo didn't blow up on me, but
Right.
it was out of my hands. You take the good with the bad, and then you learn from it. And then you're like, okay, all right, this is, but then like, it's like, okay, all right, this is what I need to know going forward.
Sure.
This is what I need to do. And it's its own animal. Like, you just have to know how to wrangle the animal.
Sure. And that's where preparation comes in too.
Mhm.
And then the building the confidence over time, because there are technical difficulties even to this day. And like, I have them all the time, but you fall back on the things you know, and you fall back on the prep you have, so that if your scripts just magically disappear on you or something happens, you can just go with the flow and be able to work and adjust. That's some of the advice I've gotten from women who are doing incredible in this industry, is that the prep goes a long way.
It does.
And so when things like that happen, you just think, okay, we're fine. I mean, I want to say it was week 2 of the high school football season last year.
Mhm.
Mind you, this is the first time I've gone solo, because I usually go with Kale on these trips. And I'm my own camera person, I'm my own audio person, I'm my own reporter. And I was getting ready to do a live shot, and the tripod completely dismantled in front of me.
Oh no.
And the manufacturing company had actually assembled it wrong. So like, I was trying to put it back together, and the pieces weren't connecting because it was put together wrong, per our engineering team who we took it to after the fact.
Mhm.
Um, But I was probably 10 minutes out from a live shot and had to find, luckily James Abel, who's wonderful, he walks into the game and I go, can you please just hold this camera for 3 minutes? I've got to do a live shot. He was amazing in helping me out.
James is a class act.
He's incredible. And he held it and I did my live shot and we moved on. But because I was able to do that, for one, because of James and his incredible camera work and willingness to help me out in that moment, but then also because I had prepped and knew what I was going to say going into that live shot. So all of the chaos that ensued beforehand didn't mess up.
Translate. Yeah.
No, it didn't. It was just, nobody's going to know that something happened. I need to make sure nobody knows anything just happened. That I was on all fours putting together a tripod, or trying to, before this live shot.
Oh, I know the feeling, because I was covering a football game, and this was in Iowa, and I was taking pictures of warm-ups. Mm-hmm. And the quarterback throws the ball out. It's like a screen. It's a screen pass. Mm-hmm. Throws the screen pass, goes through the kid's hand, and it hits the camera. And I'm like, this isn't good. But like, so I was kind of freaking out. Like, not really freaking out. Like, the nice thing is I didn't have to go like in front of a camera. I was more so behind it. But like, I was able to fix it, and water under the bridge. The camera lived to fight another day. So.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God, I just ruined my camera. Like, that's $1,200 down the hole. Like, you know, you just get really tense, and then you find out it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Usually that's the end message. It's going to be okay.
Gonna be okay.
It will be fine. Like you and I were talking about, this industry is serious to an extent, but then it's really not that serious. So if you treat it like it's not that serious, knowing that you have done all the work to get to that point, smooth sailing.
Yep, absolutely. Like, and I think to provide a little more background into what we were talking about before the stream was like, sometimes like, you know, like we're in a fun industry, you know, like I do this podcast for fun, and, you know, I do what I do, like, because it's one, like I got money from it and I never complain. As long as it pays the bills, I don't complain too much. And then two is just like, I still have fun doing it. Even after all the PTSD I've had over the last decade, I still I guess it's just like, I don't know. Like, I just don't know. Like, I just keep going. That's all there is to it. The only way to go is go forward.
Sure. Yeah. This industry is, I mean, you really can't complain.
You're right.
If you say it's not fun or you're not having a good time, you're probably not in the right spot.
Right. Exactly.
Because you get to do some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it is really cool stuff. So Drew admits that I shot my phone with an arrow. I bought a new phone. Things happen.
Oh.
I gotta ask Drew how the whole background behind that, because I think that's like the tip of the iceberg of a much deeper story. Trey also asked, what made y'all be in sports media? And as someone like me who is going to WT wanting to be in sports, what is the best advice someone gave both of y'all? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, what made me want to be a sports reporter was LSU football. Go Tigers. Growing up, Saturdays in the fall were huge for my family. We would have college game day on. My parents would make the game day spread of food. We would have the LSU flag waving in the front yard. And then, you know, come kickoff, which usually LSU had that like 6:30 kickoff. And we'd sit around the TV and we'd watch LSU play. And I remember it just being a core memory of mine, enjoying it so much, loving football, loving the joy that it brought my family when we won, not when we lost. No, I'm kidding. It was still fun either way. And I would, at that point in time, maybe Aaron Andrews was on game day at that point. Okay. I don't remember. But I watched Aaron Andrews a lot. Maria Taylor was on game day. Sam Ponder was on game day. And I just thought, how cool would it be to get paid to cover sports for the rest of your life? That I'm in. Where do I sign up? So yeah, it wasn't growing up. It wasn't a matter of what I wanted to be. It was just a matter of how am I going to make that happen. And so now we're here. And I actually, speaking of LSU football, I went and covered LSU OU last game of the regular season this year. And that was a total pinch me moment because they're the reason I decided to do this anyways. So to be on that sideline was incredible. It was awesome.
I find it interesting to think like there's a lot of Bayou Bengals fans here in the Texas Panhandle.
There's more than you would think.
There's a ton of them out there.
Yeah, there's still few and far between. We stick together. We try to stick together around here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I think how I got in was I grew up on like radio. Like I was a farm kid. I always would kid people. I was like, okay, I was too I was too city to be a complete farm kid, to be like an FFA, 4-H, whatever. But I was too much of a farm kid to really, be cool and hip and know all this stuff. I was in a really gray area. But I think what really got me into sports media eventually was listening to Iowa Hawkeye games on the radio. And also like Iowa Barnstormers games. Like when the Barnstormers were like a big deal, like arena football was like a big deal in the 90s, like, which now it's so regionalized. And that's a discussion I'll probably have with Dennis Puska probably next month, but is the whole regionalization of indoor football. But that's kind of how I got into it with Gary Dolphin, Jim Zabel. And then they would always do updates on the Hawkeyes rather than the Cyclones. And everybody in my family, save for my oldest cousin, they're all Iowa State Cyclones. Like they all went to Iowa State. So like even my mom went to Iowa State. My dad graduated from Iowa State. My aunt came from Iowa State. Both my grandparents came from Iowa State. And I was the only Iowa fan in the house. Why? Because I grew up listening to the Hawkeyes. And I mean, I started off as a history major, and then I got burned out on history because like my writing style wasn't kosher with academia. So I was like, well, why don't I just write like in a conversational tone, which I can do with sports media. And it really came down to, I met Dr. Butler Kane, who's now at University of North Alabama, and he's a Bama grad. We don't say War Eagle around him. You don't say War Eagle around him.
Don't say Roll Tide around me.
Yeah, and don't say Roll Tide around Corrin. But I was like, hey, convince me to join this program, and he did it within 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, he did it in 2 minutes, and he's like, well, we are looking for some sports reporters for the Prairie, which is the student publication. Still around. It's more of a website rather than a publication now. But I started covering WT women's soccer.
Wow. So
that's how I got in way back in 2012. And that's how I got to know like Leslie Briggs and I knew somebody that played. I knew somebody that played on the WT women's soccer team, so I got to know like all those players. And so she was kind of my in because she was also in sports media, and then it kind of went on to eventually me covering like Cy-Hawk games and seeing multiple state championships and state champions, and I don't know, never got to be big time, but that's okay. You don't need to be big time.
Yeah, sometimes just being in this industry is a good time. So no matter where you are, what you're doing, your role is very important. Whether you're in front of the camera, I argue that the people behind the camera are more important than the people
I agree.
in front.
I agree.
I advocate for that very hard because I wouldn't be able to do my job without them. I mean, we know that the tripod dismantled
Mm-hmm.
in front of me not too long ago.
Oh.
So it takes all to make, a good production or to put together a really good product here.
So Drew says, I watch sumo wrestling and pig racing.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I dig sumo wrestling. If I can watch it, I'll watch it. But pig racing, man, like, I don't know. There has to be a little bit of gambling involved. You'd have to pick a winner. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever watched either one of those things, but
Okay.
maybe Tyler, you could be the reporter. You could be the reporter for that.
That it's not my forte. I would probably throw it in Drew's court, but my fortes were always like indoor football. Like I know a lot of indoor football, like too much for my own good sometimes.
So you're gonna be like Warbird Nation, right?
Probably. The problem is like, do we like, is there like, and then I've gotten into hockey like over the last few years because I really got into it when I covered the Rapid City Rush last year. And I was like covering the Rush was so fun. That was part of the reason that. And then at the one time, the Rapid City Marshals, they were a part of the Arena Football League.
Yeah.
That was the main reason why I wanted to go over to Rapid City, was to go cover those teams along with like, and then my strength was high school. So I was like, okay, cool. Best of both worlds. But yeah. But the pig racing is called League of Pigs. It's awesome, according to Drew. Okay. All right. I'll take a look for it.
Yeah.
I think as far as I think the common thread between you and me is probably Kale Steed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kale's taught me so much. Kale's taught you so much.
Absolutely.
I always say I was the first student and you were the best student.
Oh, wow. Why are you giving me that much credit? I don't know about that.
Hey, like, you're able to get in front of a camera and then also like your sports knowledge is really deep. Like I think a lot of people, like, especially when they look at an Aaron Andrews or even a Holly Rowe and they're like, okay, I mean, this is the token lady on the sidelines. But, or Hannah Storm. Hannah Storm was like kind of like the trailblazer because she was big back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was a big Hannah Storm fan. And the cool part is they're so knowledgeable. Like, and to add on to that, like, whenever I ran into like a sideline reporter, like I'd always banter with them on the sideline. They were the nicest people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the nicest people.
Yeah.
Like they're always smiling. They're always having a good time. And, they look like they're having a blast. And I mean, I was like, okay, all right, these people are really cool. So I have nothing but like good things to say about sideline reporters because it's much more than, hey, making sure, hey, does my hair look right? Hey, I don't have any smudges on my makeup, do I? Okay, all right. And it's part of like talking to people too. Like, how can you talk to like Les Miles, or how can you talk to Nick Saban without pissing them off or whatever? But
sure, that's a huge part of it. Relationship building, preparation, being able to ask the hard questions, but also be able to read the room enough to know, hey, if I ask this question, I've got to make sure coach is in a decent state of mind, or because you always have to ask the hard questions.
You always do.
There's a way to phrase it. You don't always. That's why sometimes, I'm going to use the OU press conference for an example after the OU LSU game.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those reporters asked the most appalling questions.
Oh.
And there's just a way to word it, and there's a way to approach it. And you also have to build relationships with people before you can start asking that and expect the same respect back from them. And that's where I feel like some people forget that, hey, the people you're interviewing, players, coaches, whomever, they're still people too, and their feelings and emotions are just like the rest of ours. So we need to put that and take that into consideration. That's why I love this job so much is the people, and getting to do that, having the privilege to get to do that. And so I never want to jeopardize that in any way or disrespect in any way. I always want to be someone who can ask the difficult things, but in a way that they know, hey, she's just trying to do her job. It doesn't mean she's trying to be cutting. You can sense out the people who just want the story.
Yeah.
And that's, if there's another piece of advice, never be the person that's just trying to get the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't do that. You need to be kind to everybody and do your job right, and also do your job well. And there's a way to conduct yourself in those situations.
Yeah. I concur with that, because, like, you know, I wouldn't want somebody to talk to me after, like, I got, you know, like my team got their butts handed to them, like on a platter by 50 points, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you could also, I think what I've dealt with when it comes to high school coaches with, like, a tough loss, you find the good.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be like, okay,
Absolutely.
all right, this is not the result you want,
Absolutely.
but hey, this person had a really good night, or there were some things that you guys did really well, like you guys made some stops on defense, or hey, you guys, you know, made some critical outs and stopped the bleeding when you knew you stopped the bleeding, or you know, sometimes you're just like, hey, you know, you just feel bad for them, and you're like, well, that was a rough night, you know.
For sure.
And they open up a little bit better, you know, but you get, like, and it really depends on the person. I'll tell this one. This one's too good. It was Dalhart Shallow Water, and I was covering that game, and that was for a district title. There was a lot on the line.
Oh, absolutely.
Dalhart had a really good team. Shallow Water, you know, really turned their season around, and I get to meet Joey Reed, which was, he's a ball. He's a blast.
Yeah.
And I go up to him after the game, after I talk to Shallow Water and everything, because the rule I've always learned is talk to the visitor first, unless it's like the playoffs. Then you talk to the team that you lost first, because it's going to be the winner that sticks around, or the home team that sticks around. Mm-hmm. So that's a Lance thing. Lance taught me that one. I think Kale taught me that one too. I'll credit both of them on that one. So when I went up to Coach Reed, I was like, hey, I just got to borrow you for, you know, a few quotes. And he's like, and he's messing around. He's like, I don't do interviews after a loss. And I'm like, I'm sorry? Like, I don't do interviews after a loss. And we just have this awkward silence for like a second. Then he's like, oh, I'm just kidding. I have time to talk with you, you know?
Yeah, and that is part of, like, learning the coaches' personalities, because there are some that are just, let's get right to business. I'm going to answer the questions. It's probably going to be mostly serious, probably no jokes. But then you have the ones that, you know, are going to laugh and cut up with you and ask how the family is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, I know a lot of coaches that will talk business, and I
you respect each other.
Yeah, and I can get, like, somebody like Josh Lynn, you know, to be like, talk RMAC football for a second.
Sure.
Or, like, ask how his family's doing and everything. But then I also know when, you know, we also know when to, like, be like, all right, let's talk some business real quick. I'm gonna cut away from, but it ended up being really good. I did note, I was like, hey, you know, Coach Reed, I did see the other day that your 8th graders won district. Can you comment on that? And he gave me a pretty good quote. I didn't use it, but I was like, hey, let's end it on a good note. Yeah. Trey's got another question. So what is your long goal? I can't even English today, and I'm on a podcast. What is your long goal? Do you want to eventually go to Fox or ESPN, or do you want to stay here and become an institution? I know he knows that he's an editor, but he sees your work and you do fantastic.
Oh, that's really nice. Well, thank you. My end goal is to work for ESPN or Fox. I would like to find myself in college football. That's ultimately where I would like to land. But I also, you know, if you ever are lucky enough to get an opportunity to work for either one of those places or CBS Sports or whomever, you'll take where they put you. So if I'm covering baseball, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to cover volleyball. I'm happy to cover hoops. And so, but if I had a dream in a perfect world, I would be on a college football sideline for sure.
Okay. And I know you're a baseball fan too. You're a big baseball
Yeah.
fan.
Hey, yeah, I love baseball. I think it's fun. I grew up as the sister going to all the baseball tournaments for my little brother. So I've been to it all. My dad was a baseball player, so I grew up in a more of a baseball family than I did a football family. Funny enough. So,
I mean, LSU baseball is also really good too.
Oh, reigning national champs.
Yeah.
Come on. Now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So like, being in Texas, being a baseball fan, it's almost like by default, you have to be a Rangers fan, right?
I guess so. I mean, my first Major League Baseball game was the Rangers. Actually, come to think of it, I think the only Major League Baseball games I've been to have been Rangers games. I think my parents went to an Astros game a couple years ago, but unfortunately I had work or school or something and wasn't able to make it there. But yeah, I mean, I will say the only team I passionately root for is LSU University. I love watching the Rangers. I fight through watching the Cowboys.
Okay.
But I wouldn't call myself an avid fan of either.
Okay. I get you. I think I'm at that moment where I'm like, okay, all right. Tell your favorite stories. Play your greatest hits. I know you had a blast at the Big 12 championship. I know you had a blast. Along with your experience at the Big 12 championship in Arlington, what are some other like favorite road stories that you like? If somebody was sitting around with you at a bonfire and you were like, I got stories to tell, what would be those stories?
Well, actually, I have a kind of like a funny one for the Big 12 title game.
Okay.
That comes to mind. And it's not even about the game itself. So the last month has been pretty crazy because I go cover all these cool things, but then we also still have high school football playoffs. So that's number one priority. So I was in Lubbock with my colleague Max, and we were covering WT High and we were covering West Plains in Lubbock. And we have the Big 12 title game with an 11 a.m. kick the next morning. So we drove in from Lubbock to Arlington and got there around 2:30. And our hotel.
Corrin froze up on me. Oh.
I was like, oh no.
Okay, all right, you're back. You're good.
But our hotels had accidentally been booked that Thursday, and it was Friday, and so we our rooms got canceled and they were booked, fully booked. And so I got on the phone with the nearest hotel and was like, hey, do you guys have 2 available rooms? And they did. And so we drove about 8 minutes down the way. And at this point, it's probably 3:30 by the time we settle down, 4:45 by the time I go to bed. I had a 6 a.m. wake-up call. So I just ran off of pure adrenaline and told myself we're going to fight through the day. This is in Tech's case, a once in a I wouldn't say once in a lifetime opportunity, but a first in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
So this is crazy. Nobody's ever been here who's a Red Raider fan. Tech hasn't been here before. We're battling it out. We don't care. Sleep is not a thing. It's just not. We're going to ride the adrenaline high and we're going to push through the day. And they won, and it was an incredible day. But that's definitely one of the crazy stories that I have from just being on the road and, having the unexpected happen, having to just adjust and adapt to the situation.
Oh man. Okay. So I got one that can echo that, and it's with Kale. and we go down to WTUTPB. And it's the first, like, they have ESPN3 there. They're supposed to have a big crowd. It's UTPB's first year, like, of playing football. And they have a huge crowd at Ratliff Stadium, you know, the home of Friday Night Lights. And there's a tornado that touches down a mile away. And it's me, it's Luke Kinsey, and it's Kale. And I'm holding like I'm holding the phone, acting like the cameraman. And the tornado is in the background, and Kale and Luke are on camera talking about the weather.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to see this video. I'm gonna have to see this, but I've heard the Ratliff story.
Yeah.
Because Kale bails. He's like, I'm not gonna die in a Ratliff bathroom or something like that.
Yep. So I go along with him, and we drive around Odessa trying to outrun the tornado. And the tornado never comes our way, but
sure.
But yeah, like Kale, believe it or not, he is a huge like fan of the weather. Like, I think if he wasn't in sports, I think he would try to go for being a meteorologist.
Wow.
Because he's huge in the weather. Like, he loves weather.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Little known fact about Kale. If he wasn't in sports, he'd be in weather. He'd be just as funny on camera. I remember one time, I was watching him one time, just kind of being like, okay, how does Kale work on camera? And I remember he was doing a scoreboard, a Big 12 scoreboard, and it was like Baylor versus Colorado. Mm-hmm. And he's like, who cares about this one? You know, like, never mind. And he ended up getting a phone call, and he was like, yeah, I remember that. Like, somebody complained about not caring about Baylor, or, me not caring about Baylor. But it was like when Baylor was bad and Colorado was not any better. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it was fine. But yeah, we got fun stories about that. And then, let's see, what other road stories do we have? I'll probably let you go first, because you did that. You basically did the tour de force of Arlington. Did you take other really fun road trips?
Well, the last month has just been wild for me. Mm-hmm. And a grind in the best way. So yeah, I've taken some pretty fun ones, going to Norman, and then going to Garland for state volleyball.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I usually travel the most during this time of year. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Lone Star Conference football media day is always fun.
They're always fun.
It's kind of a grind because we do a shotgun trip that day to Dallas and back, and it's a long day. But I'd say that's one of my crazier road trips. Yeah, I'd say those would have to be it.
Didn't you do like kind of a road trip with both Kale and Lance over to the OU?
Yes, yeah, I did. The football media day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was fun.
Get to visit Ben and get to meet John Mateer.
Yeah, and we got to tour the facilities, which are amazing there. They are absolutely incredible. And yeah, that was a cool experience for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, for us in the Panhandle, we're proud to say like, oh, hey, like Ben Arbuckle's from here,
Yes, sure.
And I love Ben too.
Nice guy. That's the thing. You love to root for people who not only have and see the success that Ben has, but he's genuinely a great guy, and we'll take the time to chat with you. We'll take the time, when you're there, he was like, let me show you guys around. He didn't have to do that. And he did. And so it was an awesome opportunity to get to see, SEC now, Division I, SEC facilities. I mean, it was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Kale was on the phone with him when we were on our way back from LSC Media Days. And Kale's like, well, I got Tyler Anderson with me. And Ben and I go way back. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, Tyler Anderson, And and I keep on thinking, I was like, this is the same guy that was in our friend group,
Sure.
sitting around Jarrett Vickers' living room watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just a handful of years ago, and now look, like,
Yeah, I know. It's cool, and that's a testament to just him staying the course and just doing his thing. Because I heard that at one point, and I could be getting the timelines wrong, but he was working as a coach maybe in Seminole, and then also he was like a, what is it? Is it not an Uber Eats driver, but what is it?
like
What
a
is it called?
DoorDash?
Like a DoorDash? Was he doing that? I feel like I heard that on ESPN or something. That he was.
I'm not sure. Maybe that was when he was like kind of like a grad assistant over at
Okay, maybe that's what
Houston
it was.
Baptist,
But you
yeah.
go from that startup to coaching in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
In a handful of years, and it's just incredible to see, and a huge testament to him just staying the course and knowing what he wants to do and being able to accomplish that at the highest level.
Right. And given that trajectory, and this is us playing speculator, because that's what media people do. We speculate, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're like, do you see Ben eventually like head coaching on the Division
Yes.
I level?
Absolutely.
I do
No
too.
doubt about it. 1000%. He would do it. Yeah, and he would get the opportunity to do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think so too. Like, I could see him like at a Texas State and thriving at a Texas State,
Mhm.
or like, I mean, he's willing to travel too. Like, I mean, he was at Wazoo for like a handful of years and worked
Yeah.
with Cam Ward, and
Yeah.
and it's so funny because like, I remember him as the quarterback at WT, and I think I posted a photo of him. This was way back in the day. Posted a photo of him on Instagram. I was like, look what I found. Really cool picture of Ben, taking off, and he's in the WT, in the WT uniform.
Mhm.
And he was like, yeah, I was probably running for my life in that moment. And that's just kind of the humor he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's funny.
yeah,
no, he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
he is. He's a good dude. Gosh dang. I'm trying to think of like some other road trip stories. Mine are kind of like my last few were uneventful. Like I remember when I was in Rapid City, I did travel over to Sioux Falls for state track. That wasn't
Nice.
too bad. Had a kind of a young up and coming sports journalist along with me, which is always really fun. Jackson is now in Baton Rouge. Yeah, he's in
Cool.
Baton Rouge now. He covers high school. He doesn't cover LSU.
Mhm.
He's a Florida grad, so like, and then Kale's wife Serena, she's a big UGA fan, so I don't think they can coexist in the same room.
Mhm.
But so I was like, I could be like, well, I know a UGA alumna that's a big Go Dogs fan, and then I also know somebody that came from UF, and
Nice.
what was really cool was like the Gators like have their own little sayings, like, hey, it's great, or and I have to ask Jackson to remind me what those things are next time I visit with him, but he's doing good. I worked with him in Rapid City. Mostly I was a solo act when I was sports editor, a bunch of places. It was a lot.
Very cool.
Yeah. Got to go to a couple of Cy-Hawk games. It was really funny because the last one, it was before, it was 2019. So like that's when you had like Brock Purdy. You had the Hawkeyes team that went, I think they went to the Rose Bowl that year. I'm not sure. Or they went to a high caliber bowl. They went to a big one. And I remember there was a lightning delay, and it was like it was like a 3-hour delay just because this big thunderstorm rolls through. And I remember, the Iowa State kids They get out in the field. They start running around the field. And then before they can all get kicked out, they all go back into the stands. And I knew that. And I knew several kids who actually ran out on the field. And they were dumb enough to like take videos of themselves like running out on the field and running around. And, you know, you'd think that the field would be ruined because Iowa State still has grass. And grass was fine. I mean, I still think Jack Trice has to be the most, it's the most well-cured lawn in the Big 12. It really is. And they've done a lot of work to it over the years too. I remember that. But I remember after the game, because Iowa State loses to Iowa on the most crazy play. Iowa was punting, and I was going on to the other side because I was expecting Iowa State to drive it and then kick a game-winning field goal. I'm on the wrong side to even catch this photo. And it's one that I'm like, oh man, I wish I got that. Was the Iowa punts it, the Iowa State punt returner muffs it, Iowa recovers, and that was the dagger and it soured Jack Trice something terrible. And I remember trying to fight the crowd on the way back to the press box. Everybody had a smart aleck thing they had to say to me, and I was like, I have no dog in this fight. Like, I didn't show up wearing Hawkeye's gear or Cyclone's gear. Like, I'm just trying to make my way to the press box so I can work on photos. And the other one was catching Iowa State playing UT, and Iowa State upset UT. And I remember I'm on the sideline. I'm trying to take a picture of like the game-winning field goal or whatever. Breece Hall is standing right next to me.
Cool.
And I make myself into a total goof, but the field goal sails through. Iowa State upsets UT. And I look over at Breece and I'm like, well, that's a thing. And then I walk on the field. He just kind of stares at me really funny. Like, and then I had one player he's now in the NFL. Like, he blew up at me after the game. Yeah. I was trying to take a picture of him, like trying to like kneel down, like, you know, thrill, victory, agony, defeat. And you can't hear anything when you're down on the field. And I mean, I'm sure you know that, like with how, you know, how loud Tech fans can get. I can't hear what he's telling me until he's like right up in my face and like screaming at me. And I'm like, okay, all right, I guess I'm going to go take pictures of the Iowa State celebrating now. And yeah. Then Iowa State would give me the, you know, the horns down and everything. And I was like, you know, no bones. But it was the same dude that like cost Cincinnati, I think the AFC Championship against the Chiefs years later. And you see like video, like you see like the cameras cut over to him and he's like bawling on the sidelines. And I'm like, karma, you know. I know. I shouldn't hold grudges, but yeah. But oh man. Okay. I'm trying to think of okay. All right. I got one. What's kind of the coolest venues that you've covered a game at?
It would have to be, I mean, AT&T Stadium.
Okay.
That's
that was a pretty good answer. I mean, mine is too. Probably one of my favorites, just because it's so spacious.
Yeah.
I think, I wonder if I want to give people too much of a peek behind the veil. It's kind of interesting when you get there. I think the coolest part is like getting like free fountain soda and then you get popcorn.
Nice. Yeah, I think just the atmosphere is unmatched for sure. Yeah. It's crazy. It's unlike anything I'd ever been part of. So It was cool to be there for sure.
I mean, Jones A&T, I think that's a really cool place. I went there before all the renovations, especially when they built the new football facility just south of the stadium.
Yep.
I'm trying to think, you know, what's crazy is that Texas really goes all out on its facilities.
Nice.
Like the not UT, I'm sorry, but like Texas high schools.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Texas high schools, man, like you have some fantastic facilities. And I remember when I was in South Dakota, like I covered Hill City. And Hill City is really cool. It's like smack dab in the middle of the Black Hills. And I'm there for a playoff game on Halloween. And there's snow on the ground because it just snowed up there. And it is cold. And there are lights. It makes me thank goodness, like, what I had when I was in Texas. And I was like, man, I covered games in Texas, and they had no press box. It was just like a little crow's nest on the visitor side of the field. And yeah, like the lights, I had to turn down my settings all the way down. And it was like I was shooting a football game like back in the 80s. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like. But Hill City, great fans. They were really good that year too. Their basketball team ended up going to state. Their football team ended up getting like to the quarterfinals. That was like the first time they ever did that. So it was kind of neat. But the nicest stadium in Wall, or not Wall, I gave it away. But in South Dakota was actually Wall, this little town called Wall, and they've won multiple state titles recently. They just won one not too long ago. They had a turf field, not a big press box, but a press box, and you never would have think like for Western South Dakota and for the home of Wall Drug, they would be also home to a good football team. And a good boys basketball team. Iowa, I've been to the Uni Dome. I never went to Kinnick though. You know, being a Hawkeye fan, you think you'd go to Kinnick like once. Never went. I had an opportunity to go. Like this was like about 10 years ago. Iowa was very stingy about who they let in. So I remember like trying to get a credential to go, and I will not take it away from the Hawks. Their SIDs were fantastic. And SIDs, that could be another rabbit hole we can go into. It's like, oh, who's a good SID? Who's the iffy ones? But Iowa was super nice. They were just like, okay, we can't take you to. You can't go to Big Ten because you don't show up enough. You can't go to the Cy-Hawk game. You can't go to. That year they played Pitt, so I couldn't even go to the game against Pitt. However, I could go to the game against UNT, and I chose UNT because I was like, well, Dan McCarney was coaching there at the time, and he was just turning around UNT as well. And like, I chose that game, but I couldn't go. I was like, I had car troubles, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to make a trip out to Iowa City to like be able to catch that. But
yeah
I don't know. I sound like an old head when I talk about that stuff. It's like, is it really that interesting? I don't know. Okay, all right, final thing. I keep on forgetting. I keep pushing it back. But the great chicken place debate, we got to do it.
Oh yes.
And you are all about Chick-fil-A, and right, I respect it. I respect Chick-fil-A, but I'm a big Slim Chickens guy.
Yeah. I love Chick-fil-A. I love Cane's. I personally think they're both like
okay,
1A, 1B kind of thing. I like Slim Chickens, but or Slim Chicken. I don't know.
Slim Chickens. Yeah, it's
Slim
it's
Chickens. Plural. But I don't know if it's like up there the way that you think it's up there.
Okay.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, like, I think, the one in Amarillo is all right. Where I really got hooked into Slim Chickens was I would go down to like the Iowa State Wrestling Championships. Nice. And that's probably a preview of things to come because Kale will probably have me cover wrestling or something. We'll see what happens. Now that football's over, on the way, like you go through Grimes, and Grimes is blown up, like, since I was a kid.
Mhm.
It's kind of like Amarillo and Canyon here. Like, Grimes used to be like this little tiny town, like outside of Des Moines. Now it's blown up. Now they have a Slim Chickens there, and that's how I got into Slim Chickens, because they had like everything. They had like, you know, the chicken tenders, they had chicken, they had wings, they had sandwiches, like, and I found that they were good. And then I went to the one in Sioux Falls when I was out for state track for South Dakota. Still pretty good.
Yeah. Nice.
And then even the one in Amarillo is halfway decent.
Yeah.
I think we can agree that I think we're not the biggest fans of Chicken Express, but that's because I got Chicken Eat Out.
Yeah.
Because they used to cater for WT for football.
And they still do. They
Yeah.
still do. Sure.
Yeah, and I got chicken. I mean, it's not bad. Like the tenders are really good. You got to have it with the gravy.
Mm-hmm.
But my reasoning for like being like, okay, all right, Chick-fil-A is not the greatest, is I got Chick-fil-A'd out in college. And I remember we had this conversation the other day. It's like, how can you get Chick-fil-A'd out? And I was like, I went to Chick-fil-A a lot in college.
Yeah. And that's a valid point, because if you eat something for so long over and over again, you get to the point where your body's like, okay, let's try something else. And then it doesn't sound appealing anymore. But yeah, I get that. I think universally the people really enjoy Chick-fil-A. I enjoy it. I think it's the taste. I think
Okay.
Cane's, I like the cane sauce.
Okay.
So we'll go wrong with that. But yeah.
Okay. What about the lines though? That's a big turnoff about Chick-fil-A, isn't it?
I think they're doing a good job of.
They keep it moving, but like I would just always seem like the line's getting longer and longer. I mean, I tell you what, the people that work there, man, patience of a saint, you know.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah,
For
I think there was like what was it? Like it was like a short or like a TikTok or whatever. And not that I have TikTok, and seriously, I don't have TikTok. Don't bother me about it. And I'm not talking to you exclusively. I'm talking to chat. You know, like I think they have to say like a certain things, like my pleasure. Yeah, my pleasure. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's my pleasure. And I think there was a TikTok where somebody like said, "Oh, hey, have a nice day," and then, you know, or "Thank you," and they didn't say my pleasure, and like this black car rolls up and they take them, you know, they take them away. It's like, "I'm so sorry, I slipped up. I'm so sorry."
It's funny.
Yeah. But oh my gosh, I've never had Zaxby's though. I wonder how Zaxby's is.
I don't know that I have either.
Yeah, because I remember they sponsored a few bowl games like way out in the past. Okay. Dang, so much for the great chicken debate.
I think both of our sides are solid sides.
They're solid. Okay. All right. I respect that too.
Yeah, and everybody just loves Chick-fil-A. You can never go wrong with it. It's a staple.
You know, and I think Chick-fil-A switches things up enough to where people can't get sick of it, because like, I think the latest round was like they have a chicken sandwich, but it's like on a pretzel bun, and I'm like, ooh, that's actually pretty good, because like Joe Garcia and I ran up to, I think we went up to Fort Elliott to go catch a volleyball match up there, and he was like, "Do you want anything from Chick-fil-A?" And I'm like, I haven't had Chick-fil-A in a long time. But I looked in the menu and I was like, oh man, I was like, let me try this. This sounds pretty good. And it actually was pretty good.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I'll read chat real quick. Drew said that he was cracking beer number 5 and about to be hitting third circuit in my workout. Nice. You know anybody that would like drink beer and just like, you know, pump weights at the same time?
I haven't, but mad respect.
Hey, that's how you can get the calories, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Trey also points out, I used to work at Chick-fil-A and I told myself I would not get it, but I get it here and there now. Okay.
Cool.
Fair enough. So you got plenty of people in the Chick-fil-A camp with you. I'm sure there's a lot more Chick-fil-A campers.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I mean, it's okay. Like, you know, if I'm, if I'm given a choice, I'll be like, all right, well, let's see what the other options are. I guess I guess I could switch it another. I could switch it another way. What about taco joints, taco places?
I don't have a preference one way or the other.
You don't have a taco.
You
don't have a Mexican joint.
I love like Mexican food restaurants. I don't have like a specific, like I'm not like Taco Bell over whatever. I am definitely.
I would have to go Taco John's.
See, I don't know. I've never been there.
Okay, so Taco John's, it's what I grew up with in Iowa, and Taco John's, like they have like potato olays, which are like kind of like potato coins, and they're seasoned just right. They're so good, and they're meat and potato burritos, but they do like a 6-pack and a pound. So like they have like I think it's like a 6-pack of tacos, like hard shell tacos, and then a pound of potato olays for like less than $20. And I mean, if you want to be able to feed you and your friend easily, 6-pack and a pound is the way to go. But
nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Their taco salads are also pretty decent too. Okay, all right. Who's the GOAT? Michael Jordan or LeBron?
Michael Jordan, for sure.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Trey says LeBron, and I'm like, oh, what are you thinking? But I mean, here's somebody that's underrated. Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Highly underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
He's up there for sure.
He's up there. I would say, okay, like, I know you're not like, I mean, I know you're on your hoops or whatever. I mean, we're on hoops. I guess 'tis the season, but I feel like Michael Jordan's like the best. You can put Jordan in any era. I would say, Kobe would be second. I would say like Shaq. If Shaq was like in the 60s NBA, he would drop like 100. Easy. Because he was so big, and he's so powerful. And then and I would say LeBron would be in that conversation right alongside Steph Curry. Because it really comes down to who revolutionizes the game. And then, of course, you got to have Larry Bird, just because he's such a good trash talker, along with backing it up. And then there's Magic Johnson. I mean, there's so many good players. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, for sure.
But who would be your greatest player of all time? Like any sport?
Oh man. I mean, I would have to say like a Michael Jordan, or like everyone's gonna roll their eyes, like a Tom Brady, or I think in volleyball, Larry Walsh Jennings, Misty May Trainer.
Okay.
Just because of their work ethic.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like Tom Brady, just because he was so good for so long.
Yeah.
And it I think he proved a point that he couldn't just win Super Bowls in New England, excuse me, but he could also win Super Bowls in Tampa.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah, and then within 5 years of Brady leaving New England's, like Belichick kind of was shown the door, like. But.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then Trey's saying, okay. All right. Drew is he's still rocking and rolling. He's on his last set. I'm on a mission to prove you can drink 18 plus beers a day and still have 6-pack abs.
There you go.
Tim Duncan's very underrated. I like Tim Duncan. I like the big fundamental.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Trey also says like the best for any sport is Tiger Woods.
Oh, there you go. He's another
good one. The scandal aside,
Aside, yeah.
Everybody's got everybody's got, like, not everybody. I can't see you having skeletons in your closet. No. You're too nice to have skeletons in your closet. I just.
That's boring. I'm pretty boring.
There's nothing wrong with boring.
There's nothing to say.
I've gotten pretty boring. Like, I'm just like, okay, can I take care of the bills? Okay, what's the big trip for today? Groceries? Okay, I can do groceries. Like, I've went past the days of going out to the bar and, and just being stupid, because it's just like, man, you just make bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then, with you being an athlete, and being in media, there's that pedestal. It's like, okay, last thing you probably want people to see is like, being, you double fisting 2 Coors Lights at a bar.
Yeah, you definitely just have to watch.
Yeah, you have
how
to.
you present yourself, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to tarnish the image. You're representing something bigger than yourself, so you don't want to be out seeing be seen being out, reckless and all of that.
Right.
So it's very important to do that.
I think it's cool when people notice you when you're out and about. I mean, not to where it's like over the top.
Yeah.
But like, I don't mind it when people like spot me somewhere and they're like, hey, I know you from here. Or if I see somebody, I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, I can, if I see a coach or whatever,
Yeah.
I see, hey, like, you're a human just like me, like going out and going grocery shopping. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've gotten away from like, yeah. Oh gosh, the last time I was on anything like that was, I think it was St. Patrick's Day, and there was nothing going on, and this small town, about like 300 people, had like a St. Patrick's Day celebration. An old friend of mine invites me out, and my problem is like, I'll drink like a college student, and yeah, I was done by like 9:30. I was like, yeah, it went from like double fisting Coors Lights at the bar to, yeah, I'm really tired now. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
and you certainly feel it the next day. And it gets worse with age. But yeah, stay off drugs, kids. Stay away from the booze. Yeah, it's only fleeting. But yeah. I've gotten boring now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but boring's good. It keeps me out of trouble. Because I knew a lot of people that, they would go out and they would have those ragers or whatever, especially like, after a day of work or like whatever, and good. Don't drink. That's not good. But yeah, it's just, I've seen too many people, just absolutely destroy themselves. And I've seen my friends at their best, and I've seen my friends at their worst. I won't name names, but, there's been times where I had to play babysitter. And I was like, do I really need to play babysitter?
Yeah.
But
For sure.
yeah. Drew says I'm 38 and I feel great.
Good for him.
Good for him, yeah. Yeah, finishing 16 beers and working out at the same time. That's gotta be really interesting. But
Yeah.
Drew's cut from a different cloth, man. I tell you. Okay, all right. Well, I suppose I think we ran our course, didn't we?
Hey, it was a good time. It really was.
Yeah. We'll go back and watch some football, I suppose. But
Yes.
if you haven't done so already, please like the stream. Please like it.
Yes.
Also, be sure to subscribe, and follow the Facebook page down below. What else was I gonna say? I'm sorry, I got sidetracked because I'm looking at chat. Because Drew's saying, other than beer and smoking cigarettes and weed, I eat very healthy. Okay, I respect it. I know. Oh, Drew, you are one of a kind. Also, I know I brought this up before stream, is I'm sure Corn-Fed Podcast with Dave Wright, Dalton Pruitt. He's the comedian I told you about. He's from Pampa. He lives in Dallas. He was a really good comedian, a very funny guy. And then Dave's like, he's bald. He's got a big beard. He's really cool too. I had him on the show not too long ago. But yeah, if I don't get to visit with you before the holiday, which I'll probably like leave you be after this one. We'll probably leave you be. Merry Christmas. Have a great New Year. I know you're going to be basically watching bowl games and keeping tabs on college football.
For sure. Absolutely.
One final question, Corrin, do you currently have a podcast, or would you consider having a podcast?
Not right now. I think the station certainly it definitely keeps me busy on a day-to-day basis, and so I don't really have time to do one.
Sure.
But I know Max is looking into to potentially do that. So
Okay.
yeah, he might be your guy to ask about that.
Oh,
so.
yeah. That well, goodness gracious, he could probably just pop on as a co-host here on Unfiltered.
Yeah, you'd have to talk to him. I don't want to make any promises. But
you don't need to. That's okay. I mean, Max is an approachable guy where I could probably be like, hey, Max, what do you think? And he'll be honest with me. And then also the door is always open. I know, other podcasts would love to have you on. And I'd love to bring you back next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it'd be awesome to have. I do have some more guests coming up. I'll run over that real quick. Yes, and I think be sure to follow Corrin on like X. Corrin Davis 20, right?
On X, yes.
On X, yeah. I'm so like it's so weird just to not say Twitter, but be sure to follow Corrin on X. I guess maybe if they want to follow you on Instagram or whatever, but that's more of a personal thing, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever is fine.
Okay.
Well, public, so.
Yeah. Coming up, I'll take a little bit of a break in between Christmas and the New Year. I'll be going up to Iowa, go see folks, and go see some friends. And then when I get back, I get Duke Cornell. He just recently retired from pro wrestling. He's got a lot of road stories. That'll be a really fun one. He's actually going to be inducted into the Nebraska Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. So that's pretty cool. He got a lifetime achievement at during his little roast event that happened not too long ago. Then I get Dennis Puska. I bring him in. We're gonna talk hockey and indoor football. Did you ever get to meet Pusky?
Mm-mm.
You didn't get to meet him? Oh, he was great. He was the broadcaster and the comms guy for the Bulls. He was
nice.
Awesome. Yeah, he was awesome. He's got a lot of cool stories to tell, and he's since moved back to Canada and he covers hockey. Yeah. And then after that is CJ Holiday. CJ Holiday is he's somebody that's very interesting. He loves his MMA. So if you're big in MMA, he's your guy. He also covers lol cows. So that's how we talked about that a few weeks ago. Talked about lol cows. I know I jumped in that rabbit hole and you were like, I'm not following that one. And then, goodness gracious. And then I have Rex Reed, the zombie killer. And then I have Kale as my season finale on February 8th.
Very cool.
So,
all right.
Yeah, check it out. Not forcing you to, but but Corrin, thanks for being on. It's been a blast. I know we kind of ran out of steam like maybe about 90 minutes in, but that's okay. I kind of promised you 90 minutes, so.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too.
All right. Appreciate it. All right. Enjoy your holidays.
Thank you. You too.
Go Tigers, right?
Go Tigers, always.
Go Tigers. All right.
Bye, Tyler.
All righty. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. All right. We're going to switch over. I'm going to finish this off. So, those who haven't caught the beginning, Ed wasn't here. He's on a sabbatical. Corrin, she's awesome. I'm very glad to have her on. She's amazing. And then I got a full slate of guests coming up. I'm really excited. Really excited for next year, because next year is going to be awesome. We're going to try to get some big guests on. I do feel like, we're going in the right direction, man. I'm excited. Plus, I know we're going to have plenty of returners. So, look for Corrin to come back. Look for Rick Elsey to come back. Dave Wright to come back. Bring in Dalton Pruitt. Robbie the Ice Goodwin. He's on my short list. A lot of really cool people on tap. 2026 is going to be a big, big year for the Unfiltered podcast. So, yeah, to all of you, Drew, Trey, everybody else that catches the VOD, have y'all a very Merry Christmas, very safe Christmas, and a very wonderful start to 2026. So, I'm Tyler Anderson. The internet knows me as Tyler Liger. I'll catch you guys in 2026. Have a fantastic rest of 2025. See you soon.